All right, greetings and hotep. I'm trying to figure out how to do these lives. I talked yesterday for 2 hours and it disappeared. I am alleging that the hackers are up the block in a loud car. When they leave, I can hear the car. Okay, so it's 7:13 a.m. Today is Tuesday, Ogun's Day, and December the 10th. I'm in Tampa, Florida. East, and I am very grateful to be alive. There's a couple of tarot readers that I would like for you all to pray for, and am I supposed to say that? Yes. Okay, one is the Chanting Empress. She's out of Miami, Florida. The other is the Unapologetic. Um, the Unapologetic. She used to do crime reads. The Unapologetic Tarot. Okay, so I woke up and this was on the this was this was on here, residuals. So I guess the hackers are sending me music requests, or maybe God is. So Archangel Michael and I are getting really tight, and I want to thank him for his protection. And I'm just grateful to be alive, and I want to thank all of you all who participate in my begging for a billion prayers campaign and help me to beat down these crazy tarot readers who really feel like they should be able to affect people's lives just because they got a little information. Now, maybe one of these are my talk from yesterday. I doubt it. I talked about Morton Plant Mease Hospital and the unnecessary gutting of me with the C-section to take my twins out of my body. I talked about the 13th Judicial Circuit Court literally kidnapping my children with lies. Dr. Gustava Quadra turning a spiritual statement into a lie and accusing me of hearing voices when I said I am talking to my babies in my womb. I was holding twin children. My son was born 6 pounds 7 ounces, a moon, and his sister Aset was born 4 pounds 7 ounces. And I was talking to them in my womb, and they turned that into she's hearing voices and gave me a bogus diagnosis of psychosis NOS. That's an acronym which means not otherwise specified, and pretty much destroyed my political career, my television show, Reality Speaks TV, and my activism as a lobbyist and as a Lotus Birth advocate was greatly affected, and therefore my life was greatly affected. So when you can't maintain yourself, you start looking a little bit off. So I look a little bit off. And I'm thankful to God, kind of, because it got rid of the riffraff. Anybody who was with me just because I was, a size 8 with a nearly perfect body, extremely influential, cute, and bold, they fell off to the wayside. So right now, all of my friends are in the spiritual realm. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, because if I had stayed in this material world, I probably would have never been able to go deeper and receive the gifts of my Akashic record, which I knew nothing of at the time back in the day. So I want to start doing these reviews, I think, because I need an SD card, so I can't record my videos and then upload them. God introduced me to lives, and yay, God. So yesterday, as I moved around in the earth, I was over by that University Area Park, and where else was I? I went somewhere else. Sprouts. Sprouts. So I'm just going to record these things because even though they delete them, maybe they still have access to it in with YouTube. So yesterday I had a visitor, and he said he was looking for Johnny B, and Johnny B was his cousin that he hadn't seen in 3 years. So that's him. He had on Buccaneer attire. Poor picture, but kind of chubby, wobbly. You know, his facial features was a little bit loose. So I told him, he said, "Can I come back tonight?" I said, "No, come back tomorrow in the daytime." And I put my air request out to the CIA, FBI, agencies, Secret Service, Marshals, all of those, and asked them to please help me discern whether or not that guy is for real. So when he comes back, I'm going to ask him another series of questions to make sure he's family and not one of those gang stalkers that's approaching here on behalf of, I keep thinking James Johnson. When I said it, the Save-A-Lot parking lot yesterday, a maroon truck was sitting there, and I kept thinking it had a veterans tag on it, that was James. And the people I remember, I meant they were like, talking shit to me and everything. So it's like, how you now can't come approach me and say something? When I returned, this young man was sitting out on the stoop as I walked past. And I thought that was a little bit maybe strange, maybe not strange, because it's a bunch of stoops out there. So because I felt that it might have been strange, I just decided to take a picture. And because I don't know how many people are laying in wait for me, because as I was waiting at the bus stop, this van struck me as interesting. I saw a couple of Teslas yesterday that kept coming around. One was black and one was red. I saw a couple of white Teslas. The white Teslas that I saw yesterday were different from the Tesla that Thomas's son drove. Now, when I was in Save-A-Lot yesterday, the cashiers were acting a little strange. After I paid with my card, before she came, the other girl rung me up. I think she had blonde hair. It could have been red. And then she ran off. Maybe she had to use the bathroom. Maybe it was her lunch break and she was late for lunch on the bus. It was a couple of people that struck me as strange. So this lady lost her phone and had somebody on the bus call her phone. And I don't try to help people when they need you to call and that kind of thing. A guy walked up to me and gave me a dollar bill and said I had it to give. He said his name was Tampa Bay Tony. This is the guy. Now, there was a Spanish guy that I had to end up sitting next to, maybe Spanish Chinese or Spanish Philippine. I don't know. I was looking at his eyes trying to figure it out. Where's the other picture of this guy? This guy I thought was probably like an FBI agent on the bus with me, just to make sure I was safe. He didn't really seem homeless, even though he was pretending to be. And so I want to say thank you to all of the law enforcement that help keep me safe and are behind the scenes putting these people in jail. And yes, feel free to She was on the bus with me, and I just got the feeling she was getting off to get in a car, and I could be wrong. If I show your picture and you're not who I said you were, you weren't doing what I said you were doing, I apologize. Understand that my entire identity, the identity of my children, and I have 5, has been stolen. I mean, for decades now, and I'm just finding out, and I'm piecing our lives back together, and everything that is ours by divine right is returning back to us. Even though we don't have it now, it's still ours. God stamped our name on it, and it will be so. This Land Rover struck me as interesting, and I took a picture of it from the bus, and it was another vehicle. For you gang stalkers, you people who think it's okay for you to go around following people, it is just not okay. It's not okay. The neighborhood that I'm in, I think I have upset a couple of people close to me, like direct neighbors, and it wasn't my intention. I don't intend to seek discord. Mostly never. Now, if I declare war on somebody, there's always a reason. So I have hundreds, probably maybe even thousands now since we've been going through this, of pictures of people and events, because they just don't stop. They don't stop. And it amazes me that people, live their life this way. I'm going to follow her. We're going to, put I'm still trying to get my birthday present working. The little Coleman, the Coleman 2-burner stove. And the thrift store has a no return policy. So that's like $40 down the drain. And I could have taken my $40 here and bought this. I think this 1-burner that's $39 or $29. That's in Bravo. I could have bought that one. This one here is how much? So I think I'm going to just go and buy one like this. $59. So if they give me my $40 back, I only need another $20 to buy this thing here. And I like the wind flaps on the side in the event that I go out into the world with our homeless ministry and seek to cook on the spot. That wind guard is a game changer. Let me see. Is there anything else I need to highlight in the images? No. Okay, so basically that was yesterday, and I'm not sure that I really need to talk about anything today. I do want to request prayer for 2 tarot readers that I used to listen to, and I cannot find them now. She could have blocked me, and she could be doing fine. So if that's the case, I would still be happy to know that. So I want to know if you all will do some research and see if you can find her. The Chanting Empress Tarot is her name, and when I put it in Google,
You have a notification.
I do
You
not
have a notification.
channel anywhere. One of the things that's been happening for years is that when people step into my life to help me, they too are placed under attack by whoever is trying to take over my life unapologetically. Why can't I remember her name? Tarot. This tarot reader, last year she used to do crime reads, and unapologetically, Tarot. And she was saying that her husband was after her, and she doesn't come up anymore. And people have the right to start and stop their channels. It's just, I feel like something greater is going on. And unapologetic. She wore short hair. She was African American, and she had a gap in between her tooth. And she was always saying, you know, my grandfather was a Mason, and da 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 da. And I always just felt like, ooh, they're either gonna recruit her, and let me see. This says I'm live, so I'm gonna go in and see what happens when they say I'm live to see if. It says I'm live, so I'm gonna go in and see what happens when they say I'm live to see if. Okay. Why? You can't see nothing. Oh, because I have the camera switched and I'm basically just showing this phone. I'm nothing to look at, girl. I used to be really cute and really beautiful, but there's been three covens in my life pursuing my life. And if you see my thumbnail, I got one tooth at the top of my head and a couple still hanging on at the bottom. They strong. My brilliance and my spiritual rank is increasing, but they have heavily attacked my physical vessel. Let's see. Now, this guy that was in the bus yesterday, what I think they were attempting to do is create false narratives. So his job was to come and hand me the dollar. The Hispanic Spanish guy that was sitting next to me. I think he got off the bus and got in a car also. He was supposed to take pictures and make it seem like we were a couple. Oh, those are pictures from when I visited Thomas. You can't even see that. I guess I'll get some new technology at some point when God allows. Okay, so yesterday I was talking about for my birthday, November 24th, I gifted myself, or I said, God, can you gift me with the truth? And I went to three people's houses that I thought might tell me the truth. And of course, neither one of them told me the truth. They, in my opinion, all acted like they were senile. And the first person I went to was John Waldron because I really perceived John Waldron to be an upright, standing citizen and a truth teller. So, John Waldron didn't have any information for me. He doesn't know anything about a trust fund. He doesn't know anything about a power of attorney in Colorado. He didn't know anything about a power of attorney here. He did speak something about a sealed case here in Tampa, probably an adoption in a sealed case. That's what he said to me. That was last year. So if you don't know my story and you haven't been watching me, then none of this is going to really make sense. But allegedly, I am married to somebody, even though I never went and got married, behind my back. They stole my ID when I was visiting a friend or somebody in my family, one of my siblings or one of my children stole my ID and gave it to this group that they formed to basically take me down. And somebody that I might know, might not know, went to the courthouse with a female who had my ID. They got married using my name, and behind my back sold my 25% in my mother's estate. She left 6 properties and some other stuff. After that, they evicted me from my childhood home at 6010 North 32nd Street, Tampa, Florida, 33610. There were 4 Hillsborough Sheriff officers in my yard and 4 police officers. Get this, now I am learning that the police officers might not have been real, the sheriff officers might not have been real, and if they are actual officers, more than likely they were on the take. What do I mean when I say on the take? I mean they were either on the clock doing somebody a favor so the call was not logged into the system through the proper protocol, or they were off but they got dressed and used their company vehicle to come to my house and scare me by presenting 8 officers to put me, 4 of my children, and my nephew, Alexander Malik Thompson, out onto the streets without it being a legal eviction. When I say legal eviction, when you go down to the courthouse, the paperwork is not properly routed through the proper channels. So I don't know what judge was on the paper, but Evelyn Rizzardo was the property manager. A Plus Properties was the agency or company that evicted me from my house. So that means my brother, Tony Anthony, did some fancy footwork behind the scenes. And I don't know exactly what took place there. Eric Allen is the so called owner of the company. Years ago, has it been years? Has it been 2 years? Maybe it was 2 years ago. Toby Smith, an attorney that pops up on YouTube, has this. And I wanted to say that the guy that was on the bus yesterday might be the fake husband. I don't know who the fake husband is, because when I go to the 13th Judicial Circuit Court and try to get truth, they don't give me any truth. The last person I went to was Cindy Stewart, the clerk of my county, Hillsborough County Clerk. I think it's still Cindy Stewart. I did not keep up with the results of the election this year, other than to know that Donald Trump is our president. I did follow that. Toby Smith, and I'm going to say YouTube. YouTube. Attorney Toby Smith, YouTube. Let's see. Now he's completely erased from the internet, it looks like. Wait a minute, that's him. It says Toby Mathis.
Stuff around my garage or whatever. I was like, hey, I'm going to donate a bunch of helmets and a bike or two. I could probably write off the fair market value of those items as well, much
Wait
like
a
if you were
minute.
giving it to Goodwill.
Yes, you can. You can do that.
Even if it's my organization.
Absolutely, you can. As long as it's being used and the items that you're donating to your organization is going to be used to support.
I wonder if this guy is a tax attorney. I need a tax attorney.
Yes, everybody could go out and do this. And,
Isn't
go
this
raid your
Toby?
friends, tell them, hey, empty
That's
your
Toby
garage
Smith.
over here. We'll give it away, sell it, whatever. Get it to the right people. We could do that.
Is it? That looks like him, but it says Toby Mathis. Toby is a tax attorney and founded Anderson Business Advisors, one of the most successful law, tax, and estate planning companies. Toby Mathis. Toby Mathis. Okay, well, I guess he uses an alias or aliases in his reality also. Trinity, North Carolina. Toby B. Smith. So this is what I'm learning. People right up around me have several different names, and they're doing these insurance scams. So I need to find out who my husband is, and I want to ask you YouTubers to help me find that person. I don't know who I'm married to. I've never gotten married in my life. So, who is my husband? How could I be evicted just like that? And how could somebody have a power of attorney over me and I've never been to court, never been any talk of a conservatorship or power of attorney? So now I'm wanting to have a conversation with all of my children to ask them if they went somewhere and got a conservatorship or power of attorney over their mother, and why didn't they say something to their mother, and ask them, do they feel like I need a conservatorship, or were they offered a large sum of money to do this thing? And they know that I have been waiting to get my money. I was waiting to get my money to pay my filing fee to run for school board. And that filing fee needed to be paid by June 14th of 2024, which is of course gone. So my name did not end up on the ballot because of this. Not only that, they stated that if my reports were not received, they were going to charge me with the misuse of the system by applying to become to run for public office. So I had to contact Tallahassee to deal with that situation. I explained to them that I was a victim of identity theft, and due to the identity theft and the inheritance theft, I was not able to complete my process, which I had pretty much done everything down to assigning a trustee, secretary, and a financial person. So my daughter was going to do that for me, and those forms were stolen out of my car. Let's see. And I don't know who ended up with it. My daughter needed to have that form notarized, and then I just needed to pay my nearly I said I can still talk. My mom is just 4,000 $4,000 for my filing fee. I said I can still talk. My mom is just okay. So no, there's nothing in there about my run for school board. Let me go back over here and see if I can find it in the shorts. So basically, I don't. I'm not doing these lives to entertain. Basically, I am documenting, investigating, recollecting, and talking out my hurt, my pain. So it's more like therapy and asking for help. So this is going to be a hard channel to watch in the phase that I'm going through right now. This is going to be a hard channel to watch in the phase that I'm going through right now. So, do I know the person that they married me to, God? Divine Creator aligns me to truth, truth but answers only. And this is the other thing. They may have married me several times. They may have married me to somebody several times to get different inheritances and different financial gifts that came through. To get different inheritances and different financial gifts that came through. So, because at my family home, the siblings, there's four of us, have lived there at different times of our lives. When I go to the mailbox and pick out the mail, I put other people's mail on the table. And they've been going through my mail and stealing important documents, which I'm just learning. They've been going through my mail and stealing important documents, which I'm just learning. THUL may be the name of a husband, and it sounds like one of the husbands needed legal papers to become a citizen, and I don't know who that would be, but this name came up in life, THUL, as maybe a husband. I don't know that person. THUL as maybe a husband. I don't know that person. So I keep getting when I'm praying and asking God that it's Thomas Stewart, that Thomas Stewart married me. And he must do this phone because let me see, did I take a picture down that hallway? Yes. Is it in notes? No. Okay, so let me just go back out here and see if. So I'm going to focus on this guy. Now I know a Tampa Bay Tammy. Tampa Bay Tony. I don't know a Tampa Bay Tony, but he was yelling and screaming and talking very loud and saying that he builds houses, this and that. And I wanted to take a picture of the fat guy sitting next to me. He got off on Fowler in Nebraska. I was on bus 400, which basically just runs up and down Nebraska from downtown at the Marion Transfer Center, up Nebraska, through downtown, up to Nebraska, I think by way of Kennedy, and then travels down to Fletcher and then turns right and travels to the University area bus station from one end of town to the other. The south end at downtown Tampa, over to the, okay, you saw that disappear, over to the University Area Transfer Center, which is right around the corner from um, the University of South Florida. So my live disappeared off of this other device. And I want to call out the person that I think is hacking me. Is that something I should do, God? No. Okay. So I've been instructed not to speak upon that. I let a lot go because I feel like it. So now I'm going to look for my channel, Missing Not Missing. And it doesn't show that I'm in a live right now. So let's see. That would be it, right? The live. Okay. So, I have people that are checking, and when I put something up, I have a silent way that I contact them to see if something comes through. And I'm doing all of this because the intellectual properties attorney is going to sue not just YouTube, but individual persons that are dabbling in my devices. I don't know how much evidence they need before they make arrests, but I'm just going with the flow of things. And hopefully I can I can get these people arrested. That's what I want to do with my life. I want to go out into the world and help get human traffickers arrested, people who are putting cameras in their bathrooms and people don't know, and then they sell these subscriptions on the dark web. And somebody in your family is doing this, and they're doing it. Why did I want to say churches? They are doing it in businesses, and not necessarily the business knows it. It could be the janitor that's putting the cameras in there and selling subscriptions to Voyeur Dome type um, customers. And you just go in the bathroom to use the bathroom. You think when you go in the stall you're having privacy, and you're not. So the other people that I really want to help get locked up is men who approach young girls who they can tell aren't 18. And I'm developing something called 811. Even though it has been stolen by a coven, I'm still going forward with my invention and my creation. I can't stop people from being unethical. Um, 811 would allow a child to have some device on them that basically it can record 24/7 if they're walking around in the world. And when a man approaches them, my girls get approached often. And then when they say I'm 13 or I'm 14, it, most of the men don't walk away. They say, "Oh, okay, well, where do you hang out? Can I get your number?" That to me should be an offense that allows them to be arrested, because once they identify that they are 13 or 14 and not of age, and the man is continuing to show interest, I think he needs to be arrested. And what this device would do, it would pin the location, take a picture of the person, and the child could give descriptive markers if they'd like. 5'9", African American, buzz cut, red jacket, blue jeans, white Jordan sneakers. I'm on 34th in Hillsboro. The time is now 12:20 p.m. The date is, it would be like a 911 for pre-predators. And we need to, yeah, the same thing that Chris Hansen does. Chris Hansen, are you still alive? I would love to collaborate with you on this project. This is Lily. I'm in Tampa, Florida. My daughter's phone number, I'm sorry, I'm going to give it out, 813 608 9587. If you can call me, that would be great. The phone is blocked some kind of way, and she'll be 18 in February. 9587. 9587. She'll be 18 in February. February the 25th to be exact, and then she'll be a grown person according to this society. To be exact, and then she'll be a grown person according to this society. Or you can just send a private investigator to find me. I'm not hard to find. Or you can just send a private investigator to find me. I'm not hard to find. I don't go to homeless ministries as much because we have the means to buy food. I don't go to homeless ministries as much because we have the means to buy food. So we still need a couple of meals during the week, but we don't have to do that everyday rotation like we were doing. And thank God for that. During the week, but we don't have to do that everyday rotation like we were doing. And thank God for that. Looking for Chris Hansen. I'm looking for Chris Hansen. Lily Smith, the advocate, is looking for Chris Hansen. And I am in Tampa, Florida. Lily Smith, the advocate, is looking for Chris Hansen. And I am in Tampa, Florida. For my 811. For my 811. And I guess I'm going to call it a pedo camera, so that when they approach children that they know are not legal, they can what? Get arrested. And that way children can be safe, hopefully, in this realm. Hopefully I can make it voice activated too, where they can just say 811, or there will be a button. When I worked at Rogers Park, I raked bunkers. I started working at 5:30 in the morning. It's always dark at 5:30 in the morning. And you can imagine a golf course. This is an 18-hole golf course. It's dark. And I started wearing that button, that security button. Do you all remember the "I've fallen and I can't get up"? Well, I wore one of those buttons to work with me so that if something happened out on the golf course, I could press the button. And so I wanted to be something like that, where the child could just push something or say something. And so I wanted to be something like that, where the child could just push something or say something. Children are intimidated by adults. Many children are intimidated by adults. Them, so I just do ask me to do, and I said, yeah, well, it's a perfect way to get kidnapped or harmed, basically. So it has to come with training too. You have to teach your children to be willing to fight. George Bush, president, maybe 12 to 20 years ago, hanging chads. That was in 2000 and what? I can't remember. That had to be about 25 years old. Okay, the hanging chads. George Bush and Gore. I was peacefully protesting outside of the supervisor elections office in Tampa, Florida on Falkenberg Road. And a community officer that worked for Hillsborough County Sheriff Department came and said he was cleaning up the signs that day and took my signs and lied on me and charged me with resisting arrest without violence and created a whole bogus scenario. Why did I tell you that? What was important about that? What was important about that? They put my child in one sheriff car. A female sheriff took my son, put him in a car, and men took me. Now they only had to drive about a block over because the supervisor of elections on Falkenberg is right next to the Falkenberg Road Jail. And he lied on me and messed up my record, gave me a hit on my record. Now they dropped it after I haggled with Judge Nick Nazaritan for 6 months, in and out, in and out. Wait a minute, was Nick Nazaritan the person? No, Nick Nazaritan was when I was in Winn-Dixie, and Tampa police officer Dana Singer arrested me for trying to help a lady whose daughter fell. She was playing with the buggy. She fell, and the buggy fell on top of her. And I was trying to get the Winn-Dixie manager to fill out an accident and or incident report. He wouldn't. So I was advocating for the lady, telling the manager, you have to fill out a report and give her a copy or something in case this child has head damage. And indeed, in my opinion, was the mother's fault that she let the baby play with the buggy. But the buggy fell on her, and it happened in that store. Is it the employee's responsibility at the store to say, ma'am, you can't allow your child to play on that buggy like that? I don't know, but that's neither here nor there. The police that was in the store should have helped the lady get what she needed, in my opinion. But the police officer was using the same uniform that he wears as a public servant, but he was on off duty. So I wanted to start a campaign that says if police officers are working on an off duty assignment, they need to be clearly marked with bright big letters that says off duty. Because let me tell you what happens when they're off duty. When they're off duty, they are working on behalf of the business that is paying them to be there. So when they're working for the business, they don't necessarily act in the best interest of the public. So this officer did not act in the best interest of the public. I was an activist, active back then. My activism now is mostly behind the scenes on YouTube and, sending letters to different elected officials, but I'm not out on the corner with picket signs the way I once was. So the officer attacked me because I recommended people in the store to not shop at a store that doesn't support its customers. And of course, everybody stayed in line and continued to make their purchase. Did I buy my Breyers ice cream? No, they took me to jail. Put me in the back of a police car and took me to jail. And then they lied and said I tried to shoplift. Now, this is still affecting me today. This was at the Winn-Dixie. It is now called, let me see, we were just in that store. Go. Angola. What was the name of that store? Bueno, that we went to with Amun, where he bought the 3 milk dessert. I think it's now called Bueno, and it's on East Hillsboro, across from Yummy House. No, what's across from Yummy House? San Juan's across from Yummy House. So it is directly across from the Meridian Apartments and Bank of America. No, that's not Bank of America. That's TD Bank. It's in the same block with San Juan. San Juan, there's a little Burger King, then there's a plaza where there's some kind of kidney dialysis center in the 2200 block of East Hillsboro. So um, that really destroyed my teaching career, my ability to move up as a teacher. They probably would have continued to allow me to substitute teach, but it affected how people saw me. The superintendent's office sent me, this was, let's see, Superintendent Sickle, back then, I believe, sent me a letter saying that this is behavior unbecoming a teacher. And I explained that unfortunately I was doing the police officer's job. It was his job to make sure that the customer was okay, that an ambulance was called if necessary, and that the proper paperwork was filled out. But he totally shirked his responsibility because he was working as an off duty officer. Now, even though he gave me the name of Dana Singer, I don't think his name is Dana Singer. Every time I ask about a police officer, they say something to me about North Carolina. So I have determined that they have some kind of secret language that they talk. And they use fake names to protect themselves when they have done something that's out of order. So I have determined that they have some kind of secret language that they talk. And they use fake names to protect themselves when they have done something that's out of order. Maybe you all can help me research. My name is Aileen, Alene, Dorothea, Dorthea. Last name Atkins, A-T as in Tom, Kins. Maybe you all can help me research. My name is. Am I still alive legally? I was born November 24th, 1970. I grew up in one house, 6010 North 32nd Street, Tampa, Florida, 33610. Find out how many times I've been married, the names of my husbands, the dates that I was married, if I'm in some kind of assisted living facility, if I am in a nursing home, if there is a death certificate in my name, if so, what city, state, county did I die in? Maybe you can find the name of the medical examiner and the funeral home that they took the so-called body to. I'm still alive, but for the person that they killed, I guess, and put their body in for my body, that person deserves a proper labeling and a proper burial, because I ain't in no grave. Let's see. They killed, I guess, and put their body in for my body. That person deserves a proper labeling. Have I been, what do you call it? I ain't in no grave. Have I been reported as missing? Because maybe they reported me missing and allowed a certain amount of years to pass and then declared me dead as a result of saying that I never showed up and they could not find me. My brother Anthony, him and my little sister Ava are very, very crafty. A certain amount of years to pass and then declared me dead as a result of saying that I never showed up and they could not find me. My brother Anthony, him and my little sister Ava are very, very crafty. and then you can try to put information in the comments for me. Now, I do not control any of my 5 channels. I have this channel, Missing Not Missing. I have Reality Speaks underscore again. I have channel Tusk, Tusk. I have my Lily channel, Leelee. This channel, Missing Not Missing. I have Reality Speaks underscore again. Tusk, Lily. Channel Tusk, and then a channel Aileen Dorothea Atkins. All together, no spaces. And I've received $0 from YouTube. So the intellectual properties attorney is to find out who is hacking, getting checks from my YouTube channels, and get them put in jail or something, and then reclaim my intellectual property rights and get my back pay. Getting checks from my YouTube channels and get them put in jail or something. So finding out what city and state this power of attorney exists in, and getting the record straight for any of my siblings that are carrying around power of attorney papers and or conservatorship papers. And I'm sure family members are going to be going to jail, but that's not my fault. I didn't tell them to commit crimes against me. This is really kind of conservatorship papers. And I'm sure family members are going to be going to jail, but that's not my fault. I didn't tell them to commit crimes. Oh, Auntie Cookie, can you please send me that cash? You can send it to, I have another Cash App that you can send it to. You see, my daughter's Cash App is not working for some reason, so send it to. Auntie Cookie, can you please send me that cash? You can send it to, I have another Cash App that you can send it to. You see, my daughter's Cash App is not working for some reason, so send it to. She was going to send me $25 for my birthday. I text her back and asked her to send me 100 so I could buy that um, what do you call it, Mr. Buddy heater. There's a little heater device that you can attach to the 5-gallon propane tank and get heat. So I'm trying to prepare before it gets cold again. Right now I have on a tank top here in Tampa, Florida. Look, it's 811 811. The 5-gallon propane tank. So send it to this Cash App. Prepare before it gets cold again. Right now I have on a tank top here in Tampa, Florida. Look, it's 811 811. And we need a 4 Patriot. 4 Patriot solar generator. Maybe you all can send donations. Patriot. We really need a 3,000 watt 4 Patriot solar generator. Maybe you all can send donations. 3,000 watt. And if you can buy it outright, is it okay that I put Mr. Johnny B's address? And to. And if you can buy it outright and ship it to us, that would be great. Mr. Johnny B's address. And to. ship it to us, that would be great. Mm, and you would send it to ALENE. I'm going to just put it together. And you would send it to ALE. Okay, Aileen Dorothea Atkins. Okay, okay, so I guess I'm really kind of, let's see, I'm hoping, and my daughter, Angola. Okay, so I guess I'm really kind of, let's see, I'm hoping, and my daughter. I don't even know if I'm okay to say this on, my daughter needs an iPad. 128 gigabyte. I don't even know if I'm okay to say this on, my daughter needs an iPad. 128 gigabyte. Yarn for crochet projects. My daughter, Abby, she crochets and she makes hats and shorts and tank tops out of yarn. Yarn for crochet projects. My daughter, Abby, she crochets and she makes hats and shorts and tank tops out of yarn. And if you have a channel, put this on your channel and send it forward also. My daughter, Abby, she crochets and she makes hats and shorts and tank tops. All right, so I've said a lot here, so I guess I'm going to end this live, hopefully successfully. I'll be listening out for the hackers out back. They sit on that back street and sabotage my work. I don't know. I've said a lot here, so I guess I'm going to end this live. Oh, the other thing I need is $200, please. I'll be listening out for the hackers out back. They sit on that back street and sabotage my work. I need $200, a $200 business loan. Oh, the other thing I need is $200, please, for inventory. I need $200, a $200 business loan. The other thing I need is, I don't know if you can send it to, for inventory. And I can repay you double. I don't know if you can send it to. Wait a minute, let me retract that repay double, because if several people send me $200, that's going to be a mess. So I'll repay with 10%. Wait a minute, let me retract that repay double, because if several people send me $200, that's going to be a mess. So I'll repay with 10%. Thank you and God bless. I'm going to end this live, and be praying for me. I'm still begging for a billion prayers. Thank you and God bless. I'm going to end this live and be praying for me. I'm still begging for a billion prayers. So pray. Thank you and God bless. Peace, prosperity, and protection. So pray. Peace, prosperity, and protection. Pray. Work shoes. My youngest son needs a couple of pair of shoes. I think he said he ordered his work shoes. He wears a size 17 shoe. My youngest son needs a couple of pair of shoes. I think he said he ordered his work shoes. He wears a size 17. That's his Cash App, so if you can help him, that would be wonderful. Let's see. That's his Cash App, so if you can help him, that would be. He missed a couple of days of work because his shoes fell apart. So help us if you can. Thank you. Greetings and hotel. Now I have to successfully. A couple of days of work because his shoes fell apart.